Yo, what's going on? It's your man, George Teague here. What a live episode of Teague's Take from TAPPSCON 23 in Waco, Texas. And man, I always try to say the best for last. So I got a very special guest here who I will introduce to you in a moment when you just hear about his story and successes that he has and what the things that he's doing is been pretty amazing. But I just want to say thank you again to everybody, our sponsors, for putting this on out here at TAPPSCON, people at Waco, Brian Bunzelmeyer, the whole staff, just doing a tremendous job. Had a tremendous meeting with our district ADs just a moment ago. So it's been great. It's been great. And this gentleman I got to know over a little bit of time. Man, I got to tell you, and he's probably going to think I'm trying to butter him up a little bit, but I do have a fun, because he's got a good sense of humor. Devin has a great work ethic, and it's just been fun to be around him and get to know him more, because he is the athletic director and head girls basketball coach at Sherman, Texoma. That is just north of me a little bit, probably, I don't know, not too far from McKinney. So it's an easy drive straight up if I wanted to get there to him. I'm a little bit upset with him, though. I want to tell him, because he was right there in my neighborhood. And he drove by and he didn't even stop. He saw me standing out there, and then he said, "Hey, I was going to stop by, man. What kind of friend?" I'm sitting here telling him, "What kind of friend is this?" So I welcome him to the show. Mark Ellison, also one of the board members at TAP. So we get to serve together with this very fine institution. So glad to have you here, man. Appreciate it very much.
Well, thank you, Mr. Teague, for having me on today. It's a lot of, I call you Mr. Teague because your status and what you did in football and what you're doing for TAP. So I know in your mind, you're going to say my name is George Teague, not Mr. Teague, but I respect you a lot, and I respect everything you've done for the program of football and what you're doing in TAPS. It's a pleasure to serve with you on this TAPS board.
Well, I appreciate it. So how long have you been in TAPS?
Been in TAPS 21 years.
21 years. Were you in public school or anything else before that, or you've been in TAPS the whole time?
No, I've been in TAPS the whole time. I've been in Texoma Christian school the whole time.
So you're like me. It's been 20 years for me, all in TAPS. Have you been at Sherman the whole
time? Every Texoma Christian school for 21 years.
So you got like a building named after you, a field out there, or what is it? I know you got one. You got a fine arts center. What do you got?
I don't have anything to ask me, George. I just love what I do out there, man. I don't coach every sport at Texoma Christian Schools besides soccer. I don't coach football, basketball, baseball, softball, help with track, and I even did volleyball for 5 years.
So what's the deal then? Why are you being biased towards soccer? Why you pick up, at least one season just to put on your belt?
I don't understand it. You got to know how to coach your sports to be in the sports. I don't know how to coach it.
Get you some good assistants, man. You know what I'm saying, or something. They'll help you.
Well, that's the blessing that I have. I got a great staff, and they take care of me. And they make it easy on me. They know what to do, and when I'm out, I don't have to worry about it. I got one of the best assistant ADs / secretary. She played for me for 2 years, then went off to college and came back to be my grad assistant, and she's been with me for 13 years now.
Okay, that's awesome. So how'd you get into the coaching world? You've been doing it a long time. Tell us how you started when you thought, man, I really want to go down this avenue to be able to coach.
Well, I was at the Boys and Girls Club there in Sherman. I ran the Boys and Girls Club for 10 years, and I did a lot of AAU coaching, and with my mentor, Dr. Al Hambert, who used to be the superintendent of Sherman, and now he retired. And we used to coach together. And he used to say, "Man, you got a gift. You need to get into coaching." I say, "I don't know about that." And Claude Webb and Larry Nichols, who was the ADs at Texoma Christian, came to me and said, "Hey, we're looking for a JV coach." And I said, "I don't know about that." So I decided to do that with them. And excuse me, I did JV, the JV boys for 1 year. Then they both left on me, and that pushed me up to the varsity coach, and I've been doing it ever since, and I enjoyed it every minute of it.
No, that's awesome, man. That you're into that. And so, how'd you migrate over to the girls' side? Because you went from boys. How'd you end up switching over to the girls' side?
Well, that's a crazy story because my son was a junior at the time, and we was looking for a math teacher, and Nate Longenbond, who came in. He interviewed for the math job, and he also was a basketball coach. And our girls coach resigned because he retired, and they asked me, "Hey, man, I got we got an opportunity to get a math teacher, but he wanted to coach. Would you mind moving over to the girls' side?" And I thought about it. That my boy was his senior year, and he was gonna graduate, so he graduated. I got to coach him his senior year. Then that's when all this happened, and I said, that'll be a no-brainer. The girls are all freshmen. They won the state championship as freshmen. So why not jump over on that side and give Nate the boys? And I moved over to the girls' side, and I've been with the girls ever since.
Man.
And the years that I was there, I won three straight titles with the girls, and it's just been a blessing.
So, well, we know you do a great job, and it's. I know there's a different set of challenges when you're a male coaching female sports, and it takes a very special person to have the right kind of patience, the right kind of temperament, the right kind of leadership to do that. So I commend you for being able to do that, and for as long as you have. So with all of these, you've had championship runs, you've had some ups and downs, and all this kind of stuff. Is there a moment where you would say, out of all my, what is that one? I'm saying defining moment. That one where you just look at that moment where you're saying, man, that was a great something game, a great experience, a great something that really sticks in your mind that you go all these years, man. I go back to this all the time.
Well, I tell you, it was back in 2015 when we was playing against Rose Hill, Tomball Rose Hill in the state tournament. Rose Hill had the best team. They should have beat us by 20. We watched them play in the semifinals game, and I looked at my coaches and I said, "There's no way we can beat this team." So when we got back to the hotel, we started game planning, and I was trying to put all kind of game plans together, and I just couldn't understand how to beat that 1-3-1 they was running. So I called my son, who was a college coach up in Champion Christian University, and I said, "Man, they run this 1-3-1. It's trapping the corners, and I don't know what to do to it." So he gave me a couple ideas. I put his ideas and my ideas together, and man, we just ran them out the gym. Well, I think we ended up beating them by 28 points in the state championship game back in 2015. I feel that was one of my best coaching years. To beat a team that you shouldn't have beat.
That's awesome, man. That means, first of all, if you guys didn't really hear and really pay attention to what he's saying, he's basically saying that he still wouldn't ask someone how to help him. There's a learning process. And even though went to a family member, maybe younger than him, right?
You were way younger than I was.
It's pretty amazing. So if you're talking to coaches, a young coach just coming into it now, what would be 2 or 3 things that you would give to or say to a young coach to say, hey, here's 3 traits, 3 things you need to do to try to be successful with your coaching career?
Well, first of all, you got to trust God in the whole process. Then you have to be willing to ask somebody to help you, and use that as the help that they're giving you and put in your own system. A lot of young coaches who come into the coaching world think it's all about them. It can't be all about you. It's got to be about what team you have and how you're willing to learn. And that's what I tell: learn from good people who know how to coach.
I like that. So putting your faith in God, one of the things that we do have, being able to be in TAPPS, Texas Association of Private and Parochial Schools, although all of our schools aren't faith-based, high 90% is. So a lot of us are really faith-based, and we're able to do that. And that brings a different aspect, because there's a lot of states that the publics and the privates play together, but we don't do that per district-wise or state championships here in the state of Texas. So it's a little bit different for us that we have our own districts and our own championships. And it's always a good thing that we can actually openly talk about our faith, where we know a lot of people in the UIL and all this kind of stuff, they can't, the same way we can. And then he said something that one of our other coaches talked about here, and I heard him with Amanda Watts was talking about, the volleyball coaches, about learning. You got to continue to learn all the time, even when you get older. So I think those are a couple great points that you actually have made about coaching. So tell us a little about Sherman, though. Anybody don't know anything about Texoma Christian? Maybe not all the fishing holes and all that kind of stuff you got up in Sherman, but a little bit about your school.
Well, the school started back. We did our 40th year this year, and the school's been open about 40 years. And it started in a little small gym, and it's just been growing ever since. We went up to almost 3A, probably about 6-7 years ago. Then recession hit us a little bit. Then COVID hit us a little bit. We lost a lot of kids, and now we dropped down to 1A. But with God blessing, we're gonna be back up here in the next couple of years. Sherman is really growing. I say in the next 5 or 6 years, we're gonna be part of the Metroplex somewhere. And we're right now what we're doing in Sherman and Texoma Christian, we're getting ready for the growth. You can't sit back and say, "Oh, we're gonna grow." Once we start growing, we'll fix it. Well, we're fixing it right now. We just changed up a lot of classrooms. We planting the seeds to get ready for the big growth. TI is bringing in 3,000 jobs to our area, so we're hoping we're gonna pull some of those kids and families from TI. It's got a lot of different organizations coming in our area, so we're hoping we pull a lot of kids in the next 4 to 5 years. We're hoping we're back up to 2 or 3A. That's our goal and that's our plan.
Nice. Okay. Well, make sure if you guys are moving out or if you're ever in that area, because some people will end up there if you get new jobs. You saying TI? I know that y'all listen to rap. You think he's talking about a rapper or something, but he's talking about Texas Instruments. So keep that right over there.
Yeah, Texas Instruments, not TI the rapper.
Yeah, I thought you might like that. Man, we got to have a good time, man. We got to laugh a little bit, because we all get caught up in the grind, right? So, how about your growth in TAPS, going through the AEC to the board? What kind of mindset did you have to go through that piece,
when I first got into TAPS, Mr. Ellison was the director of TAPS, and you've seen a lot of things change after he left, with Brian coming in, and Brian doing a real good job, him and his staff, with the TAPS staff. I just looked at a lot of different things that people always say, "Why don't you go to public school?" Why would I go to public school and teach at a public school? And I love what I'm doing in TAPS. I just started off coaching in TAPS. Then I got to really looking at what was going on in TAPS, and I wanted to be a bigger part of TAPS. So I put in for the AEC board, which is the Athletic Executive Committee, and I got that, and I was on there for 1 year. Then TAPS and the board came and talked to me about being on the executive board, and I said, "Well, let me think about it." And so I thought about it, and I went through the process of being able to get on the TAPS executive board, and I just liked everything that really the executive board and TAPS staff is doing to make this organization a better organization. And the best thing about it is not just the organization. It's about the colleagues that I work with on a daily basis on this TAPS board, and to be able to have fun. And sometimes it's not always fun. It's about the grind on making sure we're doing the right thing for TAPS. Some people think we're not doing the right thing, but every time we do something, it's for the best interest of our members and our students.
Mm-hmm. That's good. So is this your first year on the board?
This is my first year on the executive board.
So how you get all the perks then? You know what I'm saying? If you're first year, I've been on a little bit longer, but you get all the fancy stuff to hold the medals, do something. I think you got more swag than me.
But
Look, you
George,
even got two-tone shirts. I got the blue on the blue. You got the red and the gray. You know what I'm saying? I can't even get none of the good stuff, man.
well, I got the up-to-date stuff,
Look at this
George.
Taps. He got the good stuff on here. Mine, like, I got a sticker on mine. He got some good embroidery going on here, man. What a brother got to do, man? Golly.
Well, just the updated stuff, man. You gotta move up, man. The times are changing, and you gotta move up and get the nice swag.
I see. Y'all I'm going to see these $200 pair of shoes he got on down here. Today. I'm trying to figure out what they're doing up there in Texas. But anyway, man, it's been, it's fun. Like I said, we have a good time here. A lot of times people don't really get to see the back end of what really happens at TAPS. Sometimes, TAPS is just doing this or that or whatever. They don't get to see the inner workings of being in the board members and here at the board meetings and hearing some of the struggles that we have to deal with and try to make good decisions on for the betterment of the organization, and not necessarily for an individual or a school. So takes a very special person, and I'm glad that you're
right. That's one of the things I didn't really know, the behind the scenes of TAPS. Everybody talk about TAPS and about the organization and the members and all that, but to being on this executive board, to see the in the background of everything that's going on, that's why I love to be a part of this, because a lot of people don't get to see that. But now this year I get to see all the ins and outs, and it makes it for a special time. And then being here the last 2 days, and it's just awesome to get to see and talk to all the coaches and everybody that's a part of TAPS. And the memories you make is the main thing. It's a lot of coaches we run into, and you remember them for a long time, even though they get out of TAPS, you still talk to them. That's the special things people don't understand.
Yep. Okay, so let's go back to basketball a little bit. If I'm a new basketball coach, me and you right now, right? The first defense that you're going to teach me is
I'm a man-to-man coach. On defense, we want to play man-to-man. We want to be up in your face. If I have that type of kids to play man-to-man, I'm going to play man-to-man. If I don't have the type of kids to play that man-to-man, we're going to drop back into a 1-3-1 trap.
okay.
And, you go to the reason I got into that 1-3-1 trap, I remember probably about 5 or 6 years ago, old Steve Rochelle over at Lake Country, he wore me out in that 1-3-1 trap, and I called him and said, man, you need to teach me that defense. So me and Steve Rochelle is real good friends. He's up in Louisiana now coaching, and he taught me that defense. And I go from a man-to-man to a 1-3-1 trap. If I have the group, the press, I love the press. I love to speed up the game. So I would first of all teach them a man-to-man, then drop back to a 1-3-1.
Okay, and so on this 1-3-1, when you add the word trap in there, typically is that somewhere on the court, where they push the ball that you're rushing towards the trap? Is it up high? Is it down low? Is it in the corner where you?
I like to trap it out of the corners. Everything that goes to the corner, we want to trap it. Then we want to take that first pass away from them back up to the top. If we can trap them hard, get a good trap in the corners, then take it back to the top and take that pass away, anything can happen.
Okay. Another piece of advice that you think you'll have: how many different set inbound offenses do I need to have to be? And I know it's different on the stuff. You probably got some that your go-to ones, but really, how many really? Because we talk about in football, right? How many plays do you really need?
Right. My girls always say, Coach, why are we doing all these plays and we're not going to run number 2 or 3 of them in the game? That's true. We got all kind of sets that we talk about in practice or go over in practice, but most of the time I only run 3 or 4 plays in the game. Mm-hmm. And if it's working, why change it? Right. If I'm keep backdoor cutting you and we're making a layup, I'm going to keep backdoor cutting you. I'm going to do the same play, but I'm going to call it a different thing each time out to try to throw you off, because when you're playing against a good coach and you keep yelling out the same play, they're going to be ready for it. So you call it a different name every time you coach them against a team.
So do you have a play called Bama, one called Roll Tide, one called
See, we had to go
Cowboys.
that way. No, we had to go that way. See, my place is not called Cowboys. It's called Tennessee Titans. Titans up, baby. you know, and I'm gonna give a shout out to my brother-in-law, George. He's one of your biggest fans, man. He's a Cowboy to heart. His name is Alvis Anderson. He lives in Houston, and he's a big time Dallas Cowboy fan. And
what's his name again?
Alvis Anderson.
Alvis Anderson.
Yeah, he's a big time Cowboy fan, and when I send this to him, he's gonna be proud because I gave him a shout out to Mr. George Teague, as he say.
That's right. Well, at least you got some good family members, in-laws or not, whatever. There's some smart individuals here because them Titans, they ain't been good since.
See, what we don't even have to go that route, man.
Because the Cowboys, I can talk about the Cowboys too. It ain't like we've been all that great.
Right,
until recent we started going to playoffs,
but we're trying to rebuild some things in Tennessee, man. The reason, and a lot of people ask me, why are you a Tennessee Titan fan? If you don't know the history of the Tennessee Titans, they used to be the old Houston Oilers. And I'm from the Texas City area. I grew up watching the Houston Oilers. And when they jumped up in the middle of the night and went to Tennessee, I just stayed with them. I can't become a Houston Texans fan right now.
It's kind of selfish, I think.
I just stay with
it's your home area, though.
Well, you stay with the team that you've been known about. That's the Oilers. And the Oilers is the Tennessee Titans.
It sounds like you had this debate a lot
up in the Sherman area. Everybody at my school, most of them is Dallas Cowboy fans, and they say you live in Texas and you're going for Tennessee. We don't understand that.
So who's your basketball team?
I'm a LeBron James fan.
No, wait a minute. Now, you can't be sick, but when you grow up, LeBron wasn't there. So
well, when I grew up, I used to I was the Houston Rockets. I'm a Hakeem Olajuwon and all them guys back in the days.
Okay,
and,
you hear what you just said? You contradicted your own stuff.
I understand that, man. But you tell me, George, by looking at the Houston Rockets back right now, would you become a Houston Rocket fan?
No, but you be in fair weather. You can't pick and choose and be like, well, I'm a Titans fan, but I used to be Houston, but then LeBron came, so.
Well, back in the days, I was a Magic fan. Everybody in my day, and I don't want to say my age, but I used to love that Magic Johnson.
All you had to do was tell us, did you have shorts that came up way above your knee?
Well, they coming back, though. They coming back. They're coming back.
Man, the kids be rolling their shorts up, man.
They're coming back, and it's just with the sports world, times change, and the athlete change, and it's just good to see that everything that we used to do back in our days is all coming back.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what about, since you're talking about this, things are changing, all this stuff, what do you think is as a coach, old or new, what do we have to see? How's the game changing? Sports changing now? What are the pitfalls that we have to worry about as a coach?
We just got to worry about the kids being lazy because, back in the day, the kids was hungry and they wanted to work out. They wanted to get better. I'm not saying that, please understand that. I'm not saying the kids don't want to get better, but they're not working like they used to work in the past. They got too many other things to do with these smartphones, laptops, and all those games that they get to play. But we got to get back to the grind, to getting in the summertime, working out, lifting weights, running, to be ready for the season. The summertime ought to be the hardest time. That's when you work hard and you get prepared for the up and coming season. The season and the games ought to be real easy.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's good knowledge. I've kind of struggled with it a little bit, what you're saying. Just I don't know, my kids even say, man, you're showing your age, you're showing you something, whatever. And I know there's some adjustments we have to make. NILs, guys, girls getting paid and all this kind of stuff in college. It's going to come to Texas. It's going to hit. I didn't get to go sit in the NIL meeting, but I did have some of my staff in there, and they were texting me already. Hey, man, we're going to have to go take these courses because it's probably going to be here faster than we know it, and we need to be ready. This kind of thing. It's just different,
Right.
And I don't know if it's all the way good or bad. It's good because maybe you're getting some money, but I think it just creates different problems.
Well, it's going to change the game. Instead of being a exciting game to play and to see, it's going to be all about a business. We're going to become a business organization instead of a sports organization. With the NIL, it's here to stay. We're not going to change it. It's here, and everybody just got to be ready for it, because you're gonna small schools like us, George, is going to lose a lot of kids that's great athletes that we can't pay them the money that other big time schools can pay, and they're going to steal a lot of players from the small schools.
Yeah, and it could be a problem.
So, but it's here to stay. We can't change it. It's the up and coming time.
Well, there's just so much you got to do, and that's why you have coaches like Nick Saban and others who are going to Congress, who are going to other places and saying, okay, how do we unionize this? How do we get this so that it just doesn't become the rich get richer with the play, and and you start beating up on the little guy because you're just taking the cream of the crop because you're offering them something. So anyway, all right. Well, our time is coming towards the end. Is there anyone else you feel like you talked about Alvis Anderson? Anyone else you need to give a quick shout out to? That. All right. How about this? I won't even do that. I want to put you on the spot like that because someone will get mad. What about the most influential coach that you had?
Well, the most it's got to be it's two people I've come to mind is Larry Nichols, who used to be the head boys coach at Texoma Christian School, and also a guy that never coached me but was my biggest mentor was Dr. Al Hambert, who was the Sherman high school basketball coach back in the day, then the principal and the superintendent. He the one pushed me to do what I'm doing now today, and I want to give him all the credit. And my biggest fan is my wife, Latasha Ellison. She is my biggest fan. Her and my son and my daughter, and they always stood by me on everything I did in coaching. And if I'm down and I lose a game, they was there to pick me up. And I just want to thank them for being always on my side.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, blitz real fast. We got 2 minutes and we got to be done. Okay. What's your favorite food?
I'm a steak man.
Okay. Dessert.
Any kind of pies.
Mm-hmm. Vacation spot.
My favorite vacation spot is San Antonio SeaWorld. I love going to SeaWorld and taking the kids to SeaWorld. My kids used to get so mad at me because for the first 7 years, you got to realize I've been at a tap school all my life, so I ain't have all the big money. So San Antonio
SeaWorld? I've never heard, man, as a favorite spot.
Hey, SeaWorld is one of the best spots you want to go in San Antonio. If I can move, I'll move to San Antonio any day.
Man, this dude here. Ooh, I'm glad I'm learning something about this dude too, man. All right.
I'm not a beach guy, man. If it was up to my wife and you asked her favorite spot to go, she's gonna say Florida. She want to live in Florida. She want to be at the beach. Her and my daughter-in-law, they love going to the beach. George, when I go to the beach, I don't want to get in the water.
Yeah. I ain't got nothing to do with the beach anyway. He don't want to shower. He don't want to do nothing anyway. But anyway, okay. So the shoes, your tennis shoes, Nike, Adidas, Under Armour. What's your go-to sneaker?
Nike.
That was easy, huh?
Nike.
Okay.
I wear Adidas, but Nike is my go-to.
Y'all got a deal up there?
We don't have no deal. We're a small 1A school. We don't have no big time deals.
That don't mean nothing, man.
We're not there yet, man. We just go with what's out there right now. And I'm a Nike fan. I got a couple coaches who don't like Nikes. They want Adidas, but when
hey, this is supposed to be rapid fire, man. You ain't supposed to be giving the whole dialogue every time.
Nikes, man.
Okay.
No deal with Nikes, but I like Nikes.
Favorite ice cream?
Vanilla. Plain vanilla. I'm a plain Jane guy.
See, there you go. You see it? Look, she look at you like, really? Chocolate. Oh, she's very specific. She said chocolate.
Yeah, I'm just a vanilla guy.
Okay. Favorite color?
Blue.
All right.
Now, see, you're trying to go somewhere with it, I know, but it's rapid fire. We can't go that way. I know what's thinking in your mind. You like blue. Why you don't like the Cowboys?
Well, I was going to say blue or silver. And you're supposed to say both. Okay. Your favorite TAPS convention that you've been to?
Probably last year was my favorite one, and this one here is we kind of I'm liking what we're doing right now.
You are so confusing, man. Because I just knew, because I'm listening to you, I just knew you were going to say San Antonio since you just said that was your favorite vacation spot.
I haven't been to the one in San Antonio.
Oh, you missed it?
I missed that one. So I can't say
shame on you.
Now you're trying to put me on the spot in front of all the TAPPS people right now.
Shame on you. All right.
I missed the one in San Antonio.
2 more. Favorite type of cookie? Don't tell me you don't eat cookies.
Sugar. Sugar cookies are the best.
All right. And favorite cake? Because you eat pie, so I know you eat some cake.
I like that strawberry with cream cheese icing.
This boy gets down over here.
Oh, man.
All
That's
right.
some good eating.
Okay, well, there you go. I hope y'all get to learn a little bit more about Mark Ellison, what he's doing. He's done a tremendous job. Been in TAPPS a long time. He represents our organization and his school very well. Make sure you guys follow him. He's not on social media and that kind of stuff. You heard him talking about what did you call these phones? He didn't call it. Anyway, he's not into all that other kind of stuff. So you're gonna have to find him up in Sherman or at one of the TAPPS events. He's going to be the one with all the nice gear on, all the newest stuff, because that's just how he is. He finds a way to get into that box before anybody else. He had his name tag first. He had everything else.
I just got my name tag yesterday. This
He
morning.
had the name tag earlier this year. He just got mine. He got all his stuff. So anyway, it's been fun talking to you, man. And
appreciate you,
we'll
George.
appreciate all the work that you do here and at your school and the way you're leading these kids in the right direction. So that's going to do it for us for today and all the interviews that we're going to have. We had a great one. Again, make sure you guys go back and listen to all these. I've said it in one of my other ones. It's not because I don't like anybody else, but talking to Henry Thomas, I'm asking you guys to go ahead and listen to what he had to say, just because of the school he's at, what he's have to do. We all deal with a whole lot of different things at our own respective schools. We got kids that we struggle with and all this kind of stuff. But man, when you're at a school like Gainesville State, you're trying to coach and you're trying to do different things, as I mentioned in there are just things that coaches have to do that, as bad as we think we may have it, is totally different. And that's why he's the legendary coach that he is. So we all got a lot of respect for him. So Teague's Take is going to sign out for this TAPPSCON23. We appreciate you very much.
Thank you.
Peace.
Bye.